Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make, I guess kind of like Notion type bass, like especially in the song Burning, it sounds quite a lot like that, but it's just kind of the bass sound that is big in a lot of UK bassline songs at the moment, and it's just a very good kind of bass to know how to learn, because once you get down how to make this type of bass, there's like a lot of different things you can do with it. And it's quite easy to kind of make it into your own thing, I feel anyway. And I should also mention that the preset for this bass will be down in the description as a free download, so make sure you go and check that out, of course. So yeah, let's get right into it. So before we get into today's video, I just need to take a minute to thank today's sponsor. So today's video is sponsored by The Producer. They are the leading underground sample pack platform with over 3,500 samples from over 30 artists such as Voltage, Annex, Heist, Simula, Digital Koala and many more. They also offer free plugins and even some free packs, and everyone loves free stuff. So make sure you head over to their website now, which I'll link in the description, to check them out, and also thank you to them for sponsoring the video. Right, so having a look in Serum, you can see here what's going on. So basically, the way that this bass works, or at least the way I've done it, other people might do it different, but I've seen quite a few people do the same kind of thing as me. So you have the two main oscillators A and B, and they will be making like the high kind of screechy part, I guess you could say, of the bass, but it's like the main bit that you remember. And then we've got the sub underneath, which does a lot more in this kind of bass than in other kinds of basses, because it's not just providing a layer of sub. Because of the distortion that we'll be adding, it's going to make it sound really fat and full, and it's like a key part of the sound. So if we have a look here, we've got this wavetable on oscillator A. It's up one octave. I've turned the phase randomization down and turned the phase up a bit. Now, you'll see later on, like when you got the complete bass, this is something that you can mess around with to get different sounds. But yeah, you can just download the preset or follow along with what's on the screen, and you can make it yourself and then have a play about with that, because it can like quite change how the bass sounds in a cool way if you do it right. And you'll also see that the level is all the way down, but this is being controlled by LFO1. So yeah, just drag the level all the way down and then LFO1, put that on, and it's the same with oscillator B, level all the way down and controlled by LFO1. You'll notice on oscillator B I've also turned down the phase randomization and put it up an octave. Now this is up to you if you do that, because as I'll show you, you can try some different things with this, and like putting up 7 semitones, or sometimes 5 or 4 semitones can also sound cool, but yeah, 7 is the most common one usually, but yeah, try 5 and 4 because they can sound cool. But also turning it down an octave or having it just at 0 can also sound cool. But yeah, onto the filter section, you can see that it's filtering oscillator A and B. And I just turn the cutoff down to about a quarter of the way up and then have it oscillating halfway. And again, this is controlled by LFO1. And then if we go onto the sub, you can have a look. It's down 2 octaves. It's just on the sine wave. And then this is controlled by LFO1. Now, the amount that you have this up is up to you. And it sometimes sounds better louder, like with LFO1 turned all the way up. Sometimes you need to turn it back a bit, like on this, because it just sounded ridiculous turned all the way up. But yeah, that's like everything going on in this window. We'll now take a look at the effects. Oh, before that, I should mention that it's on envelope mode and we've got it on a quarter. Yeah, have it on envelope mode, not on off, because that's just not that useful for this. You can also do trigger, it can work well, but I just prefer envelope mode, to be honest. Right, so you can see here, as I said earlier, the main thing that's going to be making this bass sound is the combination of the sub and the distortion. So on distortion, we've got it set to asymmetrical, or at least I'm assuming that's what asym stands for. But anyway, we've got the drive turned up about 3/4 of the way. You can play with this. You can also have it controlled by LFO1 as well. That can work well. But yeah, this is the main thing that like distorts everything, and it helps to combine the sub and the two oscillators into one coherent fat bass sound. And then if we go on to the compressor, that's a multiband mode, and I've turned the gain up a bit, but I don't think I've done anything else with that apart from put it on multiband mode. And then that makes it sound, it can make it sound more scratchy. So what I've done, you won't always need this, but I've put the filter on MG Low 6, and then if you turn the cutoff all the way down and have it controlled by LFO1, it can like just make everything sound so much better. And then in terms of effects, what I've done, obviously for this I'm in Logic, but it's the same thing in FL Studio. If you have a look back at my last video, I think it was, I showed you how to do this, where I have the main Serum, and then I split it into two separate channels to affect the high end and the low end separately. Just that's the way I prefer to do it. So you can see we've got an OTT here. I've turned the gain up a bit and set the depth to 61%. And we've also got a kickstart that is just under half. I mean, it's basically half, 49, 50%, same thing. And then we've got some chorus and reverb. So I don't think I changed the chorus again, apart from turn the mix down to where it is. And then the reverb, you can see I've turned the size down, and the decay is at about 1/3 of the way up, and the mix is at about 1/4 of the way up. And this, I only do this on the high end because obviously you don't want to be adding reverb to your sub bass, because that's just a bit of a weird thing to do. If you've never tried it, go ahead and try it and you'll see what I mean. But yeah, so this is everything on the high end, and the chorus and reverb just help it to sound a bit more stereo. Well, more stereo than mono, obviously, but it just makes it sound nicer and more appealing. And yeah, but the point is that it works well in mono as well, and because you're splitting the high and low end off into two separate channels and affecting them separately, you're not going to have any weird problems with the sub bass. But yeah, I think that's about it. So thank you guys for watching. As I said, there'll be a free download for the preset in the description, and thank you again to today's sponsor of the video, By The Producer. Make sure you go and check them out, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.